We've had such a wonderful and long-standing relationship with Diversity Arts Australia. So a project like this seems like a very natural partnership. We recognise Diversity Arts Australia has done an incredible amount of work with Storycasters, and our intention is really to help support them through our media members in particular and our wider networks. What we can perhaps contribute is actually with those networks and those connections into mainstream media.
We don't want to preach to the choir or talk to the converted. We want to reach new voices, journalists who have something to say, contributors who have a point of view that maybe doesn't get heard so often, or for which they don't have a channel to access mainstream media. Many people in the arts industry, or I suppose in media more broadly, are people of colour, and yet that's not represented on our screens, on our radio waves, or in our publications, in newspaper, in print, or digitally online. So we see that as a problem. Multicultural New South Wales sees that as a deficiency, and we see that society should be reflected in the media, and so that's why we're very happy and very privileged to support this partnership.
It is great to see initiatives like this and programs like this, because I think it is so important for journalists, particularly those who are perhaps still studying or those in the early stages of their career, to have the opportunity to meet with other like-minded people. I recall being a journalism student. I recall looking at the media industry from the outside and wondering whether it was ever attainable. And I think it is, for me, important to show that that is attainable. I think it is so important to have people who have different perspectives, who have different walks of life, come from culturally and linguistically diverse communities, to help propel and push conversation and contribute to public discourse. If I could encourage someone to continue to pursue a career even when there are structural barriers, I think that's a good thing, and I would like to encourage them to keep going.
It helps pull back the curtain a bit so you can see what someone else has done to get there, and you can realise that you can do it too, that it's not such a mystery, it's not impossible. It feels impossible when you're dealing with a competitive industry, when you're on the outside, and you kind of need someone who has been there before and who has made it through saying, if I did it, you can too. And it means so much as well when it's another person of colour giving you that information, because there's a lot of shorthand, when it comes to dealing with race issues. And so it means that someone can have empathy with the things and the self-doubts that you might have, and also just know the value that you have to bring, and that your cultural background isn't a barrier, it's an asset. And so when you've got supporters, of the industry, when you've got groups that put in funding, put in money to these programs, that's what makes them a success. So we're really grateful to all of these organisations for really feeding these young people and having them believe in themselves.
I think tonight was amazing. The speakers that came up were absolutely inspirational. We have amazing mentors, amazing facilities, and just the opportunities that are given to these students it's unbelievable.
I've learned so much today. I've learned that my experience being in the media, in commercial media, was shared. I was able to meet journalists, and I was able to meet also people who worked in print, and I feel that we went through the same things, and I'm really grateful that they've just motivated me to keep on going and keep on trying to get those roles where I can be that voice within the community.